Well, it says we're live. There's Natalie. She didn't hear it. Probably ain't nobody on here.
Doesn't look like it.
Ain't been on here forever. I got one lonely soul on here.
Yeah, that's really gonna suck your fungal.
Yeah, I know. It's only about a 15-foot drop.
Yeah.
Dickard with Dave. There's Chad. Logging Daddy. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me and see me? I ain't done one of these things forever. Figured I'd come on here and shoot the bull for a little bit. See if I can get my... No, I don't need that.
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble.
Richard says we're loud and clear.
Remy's in trouble.
The dog, neighbor's dog, Remy's in trouble. What's everybody up to? What's everybody been doing this weekend?
They don't want to see your thumb.
You're interrupting Dirt Perfect's live feed. Well, I'll be.
Well, good for us, huh?
What a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. But anyways, I figured I'd come on here to shoot the bull for a little bit. Me and Mom ain't been on here for a while. Ain't really been doing much. Just been
shoving her face.
Living life. Since the last time I'd been on here, Mama's had surgery.
Again.
And she's done back to work. She went back to work last week. And everything's been going...
the week before last.
Well, the end of that. So might as well just say last week is your first full week back. But,
2 full weeks.
Whatever. But anyways, other than that, we ain't really been doing a whole lot. Been hot. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of yard work. Been hot.
I don't think they're still good. They're from last year, but I just opened them.
Last week was pretty decent, but the week before that was just plumb miserable.
The whole time I was off was miserable.
Yeah, Mama was off work for 7 weeks.
6 weeks and 4 days.
There you go.
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Because if you want to count the corona scare with Alex, yeah.
Been, see if we can get this on here. I don't know if it'll bring it up. But that was the garden right out there. Yeah, Billy, we're doing pretty good. How you doing, Kevin? But that was the garden out there. It finally got mowed down today, and I got all the junk, the tomato vines and everything piled up out of it.
Now it's time for
put
pumpkins.
In a pile. The only thing I got left is jalapeno peppers, and they're really starting to come on. I probably picked
chicken pie.
Close to 2.5, 3 pounds of jalapeno peppers yesterday. We're going to can them. Me and Mama's been in the canning mood.
Mama about cut her finger off.
Yeah, Mama about sliced her finger off with this new Fandangle slicer thing we got.
Never again will I use it.
But other than that, just cutting and splitting firewood, getting ready for the winter. Got my bow and arrow out the other day and fine-tuned on it and getting ready for deer season. I'm ready. Wish it'd start cooling off. We're getting down into low 60s at night around here now. Finally starting to drop back off to low 80s throughout the day, but pretty decent weather. But other than that, we ain't been doing a whole lot. Working quite a bit. And as you seen in the thumbnail, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, Richard, I can't wait for deer season either. This will be the second year that I've gotten back into bow season. Stepped away from bow hunting for about 12, 13 years. Finally starting to get back into it a little bit. Deer season starts here, western North Carolina, this Saturday. Deer season in Indiana don't start till October 1st. It started, I think, this past weekend over in Kentucky. A couple of buddies of mine's already got some pretty nice bucks, but it's just too daggone hot. I'm one of these guys, whenever I shoot a deer, I want to let it hang for 2 or 3 days and let it drain out pretty good. I think that helps the meat quite a bit. Wayne Tharp says he loves deers.
Uh-huh.
Wayne Tharp has a hit list that he's making out, and I think I might get an invitation for that hit list on that deer up there. He's got tearing up Anita's flower garden. He sent me pictures of it. It's one of these little
Spikies.
He calls it his little deer. It's got 2 on this side, and I think there's about 19 over on this side.
Of course he would be.
It might be just the way it was standing. It might have about 8 and 8 on each side, but either way, it's got every bit of 8 or 19, I'd say, total. Yeah, I might exaggerate that just a little bit. It's a pretty good looking deer, but them are Anita's pets. She don't let just anybody walk up there in the backyard and start slinging arrows.
Where's Alex in the window?
Alex is spying
Nosy.
on us. He thinks me and Mom's out here doing something on the back porch.
But he's got to be nosy in everybody's business. Heaven forbid somebody doesn't invite him.
But anyways, the thumbnail. Really ain't got an explanation for it other than Tiny just turned over. We're logging down Evansville. The hills, they're not crazy, but they change pretty quick. They're not real long hills. They're just short roller coaster kind of hills. I don't know if everybody knows or not, but Junkyard quit us early this spring. He wanted to retire, and Junkyard's old enough to retire. He's done his time. He's put in his effort and just wanted to stay at home. His wife is not doing too good. She's got some health problems, and Junkyard wants to stay home and stay close to his wife. So he quit. Well, that kind of put us in a pickle for a tiny operator. And since then, we've kind of been bouncing back and forth between Robin and Derek, taking turns running Tiny and putting some extra skid and power on me to help feed the den so I can load Tiny. Well, Robin, I guess, come down with Corona. And that really put a dampener on us as far as moving production and taking an extra truck out of the loop. So, Mama, backfield. I got deer coming in. But anyways, it put some pressure on us as far as moving production because Robin's now gone with Corona for about 10 days. The Junkyard stepped out. He's retired. And they got 2 cutters running. Derek and Tater's running both cutters. And Roger's pretty well the only skidder man now until Robin comes back into the loop. So they took another truck driver, a guy that's pretty green. He ain't really been in the woods a whole lot. He's been around some equipment, but he ain't really been exposed to the kind of production that we run. And I didn't do nothing too crazy. I mean, it was a good load, but the loads that truck's had on it before should have turned over a long time ago. But
it's just the person driving wasn't used to it.
The guy that was in it, the load that was on it, the terrain we was on, it just happened. It was just a perfect scenario. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad rollover at all. It kind of scared him. Chris was the guy that was driving Tiny. It kind of scared him, shook him up a little bit. He called Big Mom and told her he turned it over, and she hollered at me and started tracking up there. Of course, that's the first time Tiny's ever turned over. Everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It stayed over on its side for probably an hour and a half. I don't know. This first thing in the morning, we've only made 2 trips with Tiny, and this second trip never even made it to the yard. It turned over halfway to the yard. So everybody's not even in the woods yet. Tater didn't go to the woods that day. He stayed, but that was
Friday.
That was Friday, this past Friday when we turned over. We didn't work Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Had a 3-day weekend, which was sweet. I needed to relax a little bit. She's got her baby with her. We got mama and a set of twins, and then we got a mama and just one fawn, but I don't know which one that is, but I know there's one fawn back there now. But anyways, it was just a perfect scenario, and everybody wasn't in the woods yet. Big Mama was there running the boom. Big Daddy was on way to the job, and Derek was cutting, Roger was skidding, I was den-denning, Chris was running Tiny, and just freak accident. I think what had happened, Chris wasn't really familiar with how the differentials and the lockers and everything is on Tiny. What I think had happened is Chris was going up a hill, pretty steep hill. But it's nothing new on Tiny. I mean, we've taken Tiny up these kind of hills in this terrain like this before. But he's going up, for him, this is a pretty steep hill. But he's going up this hill, and I think he had his differentials locked and his front axle locked. When you lock that entire truck, it is a bear to steer. He was trying to make a slight right-hand bend, and if you look at the thumbnail, it actually flopped over on the right. That truck has got such wide tires on the back of it, I don't know if you can turn the bed over on it. Everybody got a hold of me on Facebook. Of course, I put a picture on Facebook, and everybody's like, what the hell happened? How did you turn the cab over? It's a torque flop. When the truck comes up and rides a wheelie, the only thing that's holding that truck from flopping is your steering cylinders. So if a guy don't understand how to steer when he's floating like that in the air, and he goes to fight the flop like how it's wanting to flop, it's instantly going to turn over. And I think he had both rear ends locked, and I think he had the front differential locked, which makes it a bear to turn. And I think that just put that much more torque in that turn for the direction that he went. Didn't hurt him. He crawled out of it, and the way it laid over, all the fuel run out of it. Hydraulic oil was pouring out, running down right on the turbo, so it sent up ignition and took off burning there for about 15-20 seconds. We got the fire put out. Big Daddy showed up. We come up with a game plan on how we was going to turn it back over. Before Big Daddy showed up, I actually started pulling all the wood back out of the bed, just so when he got there, it was time to go. Well, when we done that, the bed, like the cab had flopped over, and then the bed was like this. It looked like it was trying to dump, but the truck just started the accordion and folding itself up, and it wasn't going nowhere because it was hemmed into the trees behind it, and it still had the load on it. So I figured, well, I'll lighten the truck up a little bit so when Big Daddy gets there, it won't be such a pain to maybe flip over. I should have left it in there, but first time this has ever happened. So it's sitting like this now instead of like this. The truck's folded up a little bit. So now when I take all the weight off the bed starts to level back out, and the cab actually starts to go back underneath the headboard of the bed. So whenever we go to flip it, it's now going to be a pain to get it to go underneath, to come back up over that headboard so we can turn it over. So now we start to see this happening, and I just reached back there and I shoved the din head down in the bed to put a lot of weight back on that bed so it wouldn't settle anymore. Once Big Daddy got there, we went over the plan of attack on it. He did a little bit of dozing around it, so whenever it came over, it didn't slam down like old Blue did on the blacktop. It just kind of laid down on a little bit of a dirt pad, which helped it. We ended up tying a chain to the front axle on Tiny, and then I just grabbed a hold of that chain with the din, pulled on it real hard, and straightened the truck back out. Big Daddy tied off to the nose of Tiny and got on the other side of it. So as I'm pulling on it, he hits his half brake on his winch, on his dozer, and it sits down real easy. It was real easy to sit down. Surprisingly, I thought that big truck was going to be a pain on the front of the cab to turn over. The din pulled that sucker over, no problem at all. But like I said, and then we let it sit there for probably 2.5 hours. Chris did some maintenance on it, checked all the fluids out on it, topped everything off, cleaned everything up, and it smoked for probably 20 minutes. Not bad, just oil on top of pistons. It smoked for about 15-20 minutes. During his cycles back and forth to the boom, he made about 3 cycles and it was back to normal Tiny. Wasn't no issue with it at all. Just as clean as a bean. Boy, I missed a bunch of people on here. Sorry guys, I ain't been keeping up. I've just been yakking about Tiny's rollover. No, Billy, I didn't know MSL had COVID. That's a new one on me.
Yeah, they ain't been on Facebook a whole lot either.
Cowboy wants to know if the deer's still nursing, I'm assuming. I've not seen it nursed back here, Cowboy. I'd say the milk probably got a little hot down there, Cowboy, and she probably quit letting him nurse. I knew Junkyard was going through a lot with his wife. Didn't know he left the company. Good for him. Thought he earned it. Yeah, Junkyard's been there for... Daggone it. Facebook's going off. I think Junkyard had been there for 13 years.
What's the tractor doing?
I want to say, don't hold me to it, but he's been there a long time. Tractor's doing good. Used it this morning. Finished mowing the property. It comes and goes. Usually I can stretch it out about 7 days before I got to mow. And being the tractor's diesel, handles the finish mower good, I can go up to 7, 8, 9 days before I got to mow. And it ain't hard on the tractor or the mower. It just leaves a little bit of grass clumped up here and there in the yard, which I don't like, but it ain't bad.
I could get on my YouTube and read your comments for you.
Accidents happen every day. How you doing, Robert Kennedy? Man, bet Tater loved that call. Believe it or not, Big Mama said that she did not tell Tater that Tiny had rode over at all. Mute it.
Okay, I don't know how.
Well, turn the volume down. I don't want to hear myself talk.
Yeah, shut up.
So, she says whenever everything gets all said and done, she's going to take some pictures of it and send them out to Tater.
How many deer can you kill up here in one season?
And then she sent the pictures of Tater while he was over in Louisville picking up a bucket for another den that they bought for projects around the farm and the sawmill and everything. So he wasn't nowhere around to even know that something like that had happened. I don't think he liked the idea that she kind of kept a secret from him. Wanted to know how many deer we was allowed to shoot. It depends on how many counties you hunt. In the whole state of Indiana, you're only allowed 1 buck.
Can you please get this stinky cracker smell on my face?
You're only allowed 1 buck in the whole state of Indiana, but if you travel from county to county and going off of your bonus tags, I'm assuming you can shoot as many deer as you want to fill tags for.
Are you going to the Bunyan?
Not for sure yet if we're going to go to the Bunyan yet or not. Depends on how work looks. If everybody keeps coming down with Corona, I don't even know if we're going to be able to take off to go or not. Sawmill's starting to get a little bit of wood piled in it right now, but Nuts 319 is in the house.
Yeah, I got another phone. That's a whole nother YouTube.
Yeah, Mama had to get another phone. Hers died, so I went and bought her a phone. And had it had about 2 or 3 days, missed her pocket, and shattered the whole screen out of it. So now she got to go get her another phone.
Yeah. Take some of that soup with you to the woods tomorrow. Have a great night, Pete.
Who's that? Pete?
No, Perry Roberts. Take some of the soup with you to the woods tomorrow. Have a great night, Pete.
Is Pete taking soup?
I don't know. She was trying to keep Wade's blood pressure.
Petey, did you know that MSL had COVID? I didn't know nothing about it.
They said somebody said.
Of course, I ain't been on YouTube forever. I kind of took a break and just stayed away from YouTube. Getting tired of all the political Corona crap and just went and did my own thing for a while.
Somebody said they talked to him and he said he was doing better or was feeling better. I can't remember where I saw it.
Oh, Pete's got soup cooking. All right. Got you. I talked to MSL the other day and he's feeling better. Well, good for him. A guy that I went to school with, I'm not going to say his name, but a guy I went to school with here in our town, my age, just died yesterday from Corona. Of course, he had double lung pneumonia on top of it, which wasn't
That's what it's doing now.
anything to help the situation at all, but mid-30s and gone. It is crazy. It kind of gives a guy a second thought about, well, should I take that daggone stupid shot or not? But now there's people that's taking the shot that's getting it, so I don't know which way to go.
Bye, Nutsy.
Old man in the woods wants to know if we're going to the Bunyan. Not really for sure. Just have to play it by ear. Well, I don't know which one you read.
I'm reading them off as they pop up.
Well, I'm scrolling through them too.
Stop it.
I'm not really for sure if we're going to go or not, depending on how work's going to go, what the weather schedule and everything looks like.
Nutsy's leaving. He's got soup.
Taylor Atkins. I know some Atkins, but I don't think I know you, bud. Doing pretty good. The Corona thing is really affecting a lot of folks. We stay out of the crowds. Yeah, we do too. We pretty well just stay out here at the property and go to the grocery store and get our groceries. Usually we get enough groceries to last 3 or 4 weeks. With the chickens we got in the garden and everything, all the canning and everything me and Mama done this summer, I mean, we really don't even, and then deer season coming on. They probably won't see us at the grocery store for 2 months coming up. Did pretty good on the garden this year. Cucumbers did outstanding. Tomatoes did fantastic. Watermelons did pretty good. Chickens ate a lot of them though. We didn't.
Big howdy from Nova Scotia, Canada.
I need to figure out how these people's making these seedless watermelons. The watermelons that I had was Black Diamond and had seeds in them. The watermelons I had last year were Black Diamonds. I didn't grow them, but they were seedless. And mine was pretty sweet, but you couldn't get half of a mouthful without getting another half a mouthful of seed. I've done gotten spoilt off of seedless watermelon, so...
Cowboy, why are you whooping MSL?
That kind of sucks.
That's not nice. Hi from Indianapolis.
John Jones, hello from Indianapolis. Well, how you doing, John Jones? John Jones, don't you own a car lot up there?
No.
I'm pretty sure there's a John Jones car lot. We logged off of John Jones before, up around Bedford.
You're thinking of Steve Jones.
No, I'm not.
Chrysler in Evansville.
No, I'm thinking of a John Jones. There's a car dealership up around Bedford. We logged off of that guy.
Hey from Virginia.
Get the vaccine. It can save your life. Well, Tim, I appreciate the concern, and I'll put it in the bucket of concerns that everybody has.
I didn't say what I was gonna say.
And we'll think about it. But as of right now, we're doing okay. Nova Scotia. How you doing, Jeff? I whooped MSL pretty bad. Cowboy, what are you doing beating on MSL?
That's what I just asked. Hey from Virginia.
Well, how you doing, Michael? Oh! I think I just swallowed a gnat.
That was real.
Cowboy, do you you still got your maters out, or did you finally go ahead and mow them off? I went ahead and mowed mine off today. The only thing we got left in the garden's jalapenos.
Couldn't be better. Billy, Wayne, don't
COVID
kick a
whooped.
man when he's down.
He meant to put COVID whooped MSL, not he whipped COVID, or not he whipped MSL. Cowboy, you still got your maters or not? I bet the coons done dug them up. I ain't got no coon dogs. I could come up there and put a
You got a Hank?
hit list on. Hank can't even catch a baby bunny.
Because there's 6 of us out there trying to get this.
We had a
baby
rabbit
bunny.
running back and forth on the tomato rows today when we was back there cleaning off the garden, and there was that rabbit outran Hank through the garden.
He shoulder
There's
planted the dirt and rolled
7
over on his
acres of
face.
open field back there, and Hank couldn't catch a rabbit. He's not going on any kind of coon hunt with me.
Crazy trucking vids. I remember the video when Stevie was getting his CDL and Wade was driving him a rough way to go about going to the Bunyan. You and Wade going to make more videos together.
John Jones said he had his first shot and still got the COVID.
Yep. It's not. Well, it's not good.
And as far as me and Tater making more vids together, Tater's kind of off on his own as far as in the woods. Did I just step in chicken poop?
Yeah.
Tater's off on his own.
No,
Turn
you
that back
didn't.
porch light on. Tater's off on his own in the woods pretty well now. I mean, every once in a while, me and him would kind of pass each other or work around each other just for a short, brief moment. But other than that, we hardly even see each other in the woods anymore. They got Old Blue done, and the old mechanic that was helping me get Old Blue fixed back up, he wanted a full-time job, so they went ahead and hired him, and he got to keep Old Blue, so I ain't been driving a truck to the woods anymore. They hired another guy that was working there before that was driving the Outlaw truck. So when they hired him, he got the Outlaw truck. So I'm truckless, so I don't get to run with the truck gang anymore. Take a service truck back and forth to the woods, which I'm not bitching about it, but I'm just saying, me and Tater's hardly around each other anymore. I couldn't tell you the last time we've had a rain day. It's been a long time since we caught rain. Look here, cowboy.
What? Don't. Why are you running it?
You can't see it with the light on. Shut the light off.
Yes, you can. I just.
Let me turn you around.
Yeah, go out there.
I don't have Wayne's phone number.
Where's that? There it is.
I don't have Wayne's
That's what we
number.
normally do. We just sit here and watch the sunrise and watch the sunset. That's
some
what our
pretty good
life
videos
consists
now that
of.
My phone is new.
But anyways,
Flickering the lights like there's
back to
something.
the tater thing. We hardly ever come across each other to get videos together, to work together. So
Quit running back and forth.
I don't know.
You're gonna step on glass.
I'd say maybe this winter there might be some videos come up of working in
get
a
back
shop
on there.
together or something. Yeah, Jeff, it's pretty sweet. I am tickled to death and glad we got it.
What? Oh,
The homestead. We call it the
I'm about to
mega.
drop my phone again. You watch.
We call it the mega. It's mega to us because it's
Okay.
nice,
Ernest Stevens says, "Hey, Steven."
quiet, big. So we just call it the mega. Not to have a big head attached to it or anything, but we call it the mega. And that kind of went along with the mega that just got demoted because I bought it the same year as the mega train was leaving the station.
Maters are still cranking out.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
Daggone it.
That truck turned out good.
That's right, Jeff, and it's mine. Old Man in the Woods, we got just under 10 acres, 9.6 something, I think.
Billy said
But there's a
9.6.
lady on the back side of me on the northwest corner. She's got about a 7 or 8 acre field back there that's questionable coming up for sale. And if it comes up, I am first in line to know about it, she says.
Ernest Stevens says, "Hey, Stevie."
Well, hello, Ernest. And if it does come up for sale, I'm going to try my dangest to grab a hold of it because I'd like to seal that off back there where nobody else can build past me because right now I'm the last house on the road. There's one off onto each side of me, but I'm the dead end. So, and if I was to get that, there would be nobody building back there because I would mow that field off and plant it all in trees.
That would be great.
Oh yeah, Kevin, we are super, super proud. Old Man in the Woods, I think you was the one that asked me if we was going to the Bunyan. Are you going?
I've had both COVID shots and I got the stupid crap.
Perry, since you had both COVIDs, the shots, and you said you got it now, compared to what other people's symptoms are, how are you feeling with what your symptoms are compared to what other people's is having? And I guess that kind of goes along with the age and the health history of other people as well. I'm assuming you're a pretty healthy individual, but just curious to see how everybody's reacting to it. Not saying that's going to change my mind to get it or not to get it, but I'm just curious.
Nothing like owning.
Old Man in the Woods says he's going. And I don't want to be speaking for anybody else on YouTube, but I think Skitter Kev told me that they still are not going to release the border.
Open it.
So if anybody's wanting to know if Skitter Kev's going, send him a message on his channel and ask him. Not for sure if they're going to make it or not, but the last I had heard that he don't think that they're going to be able to get across the border from Canada. Why is my thing not
Dickard with
scrolling
Dave
up?
said open the when he first.
Good night, Taylor. Good talking to you.
Let me go back all the way up here.
John Jones. I live Perry County, about an hour in the middle of Louisville and Evansville.
Dickard with Dave said wishing y'all would hurry up and open the border, so he's in Canada too, and they ain't opened it.
Okay. Well, they still got less than a month.
John
They
Jones.
might open it. I'm not sure.
30 minutes.
I just
What?
said. I said right in the middle of Evansville and Louisville.
Yeah.
South of Interstate 64.
Look, it was you messing with your. It kept.
Did it change it?
Yeah. It did.
John Jones, there's a good chance I might be up around your neck of the woods in,
Now you want to turn the light back on.
what is that? Late October, Cowboy, when they had the Iron Man?
Last year was
October
like the
1st is
20th.
when the tree orders start. The first lady had the forms filled out this week. Cowboy, how many trees you getting? And what are you getting? I bought a
Don't tell him. Tell him it's a secret.
I bought a peach tree today for
Go away.
20% off at the farm store. Got it planted this afternoon. I hope it makes it. I've heard of
Ready
rumors
for
saying
school.
that
It's bedtime.
planting trees late this summer like this, they ain't a very good success rate, but I went ahead and tried it anyways.
Does anybody want a kid? Free of charge. They can just come.
46 caught. Headaches, chilly body
He's
aches.
46.
Oh.
Coughs, headaches, chilly body aches.
Old Man in the Woods said you got to have at least 2 peach trees. My hope is to have about 8 or 10 of them going on the outside eastern side or the western side of the garden next year. They only had 1 peach tree left. Alex, it's bedtime. He don't like listening to Mama. All I gotta do is one time, and it's okay.
Randy Cunningham.
Feeling better, but it takes a long time to get feeling better. It started out as a sinus cold. Early this winter, or early this spring, coming out of last winter, I felt pretty bad, but I don't know if that's kind of that achy bone syndrome that I had from turning old Blue over and the cold weather kind of crap. I don't know if that's what it was or if it was the spring pollen. I don't know if that's what it was, but early this spring, I felt like crap for about 2 weeks. Not saying it was corona, but I hurt all over and was just down in the dumps for about 2 weeks. Huh?
When?
Early this spring. I just felt like crap. You don't remember when I was eating cough drops right and left?
Yeah.
And drinking that sinus crap, the cough syrup. I was drinking cough syrup like water.
Yeah, I had to go make 2 runs to Walmart just for cough medicine.
Couldn't sleep. Wayne, me and Wayne talk about it every day. I told Wayne, I said, I'm drinking cough medicine just to sleep. They told me I better go get checked out because I don't need to be doing that. It's going to cause something else. But got over it. I don't know what it was. It might have been corona. I don't know.
He's in the window.
How you know he's in the window?
I heard him.
Oh. Well, everybody, I hate to run. I just want to come on here and kind of give everybody an update. I ain't been on here forever. Kind of getting in the mood of it, but I don't want to take away from anything of what I got going on here. I bought Alex a little bow and arrow. Not going to get him to bow hunting this year. I just want to get his feet wet and let him start shooting the bow and getting the feel of it and what to do and get yelled at for what not to do and finding arrows because he just overshot the target, that kind of stuff. I want to let him be a kid. Got him shooting pretty good with the 22, so this year I think we're going to try to get Alex on a deer with a gun. And if I ain't got a bunch of wine-bag crybabies on my channel like I did a couple years ago when I had Alex out there shooting a deer, I'll see if I can't video it and put it on the channel. But I'm sure somebody's going to cause a stink and get that taken down like they did the last one. But that's part of it. You just got to roll with the punches.
Down already, which, I mean, whatever.
I don't care. Somebody's upset. But I hate to run off here. It's Labor Day. Me and Mama's going to go inside and finish drinking a beer or two, and I think we're going to call it an early night. Got to get back in the groove of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning going to work. It's been nice having a 3-day weekend, though. But I'm glad y'all swung by and we got to shoot the shoot for a little bit. And
bugs are biting. Stupid bugs.
Yeah, he'll like it. New cooker. Mm-hmm. What about the new cooker, Cowboy?
Are you mad? You should have got invited.
He did. He said he was on his way. They never showed up. They must have got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did buy a new cooker.
I told him I'd buy it.
I did a crawfish and shrimp boil yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your mom meant she didn't get an invite.
Invited my brother and his old lady and his boy over. Wasn't very many people, just 6 of us eat off of it. Me and Alex just got done digging into it a while ago, but I think that's what Cowboy's talking about. I'd like to try one of them pesky raccoons he's got running around up there at the palace. I'd like to try one of them in that boiler and see how it does. I bet that'd be some pretty tender barbecue, Cowboy.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah, old man in the woods, I hope we get to make it. Not like I said, I'm not for sure. We just have to wait and see how the weather goes and how everybody's doing at work. I think the mill and everything's doing pretty good, but I'm not in the mill to be able to say anything about that. But I think the mill's doing pretty good. I don't know how their staff's going right now, but that's a sawmill for you. One day after another, you never know what's going to happen in the mill as far as how your health goes. All right, guys. John Jones says happy Labor Day. Good night. So I'm going to get off here. Stick around. I think we might do some more videos. Not sure when. Just check back in from time to time. Been good chit-chatting with y'all. Stay safe and stay productive.